Okay, let's be honest. Snoring is one of those things we love to joke about, but secretly we dread. Whether it's your partner rattling the windows, your dog sawing logs at the foot of the bed, or you waking yourself up with a sound that you swear could not have come from your own body. Snoring is deeply human. On today's episode, we're pulling back the curtain on that midnight rumble. I'm Jay, and this is Somnilopod. Hello everybody, welcome back. I am so glad that you decided to join me. I want to talk about something that's very basic to sleep, and that is snoring. And at its simplest, snoring happens when air has to squeeze through a partially blocked airway. Imagine trying to drink a milkshake through a bent straw. The airway gets turbulent, and turbulence makes noise. That's snoring. A lot of people think snoring starts in the nose, and it can if you're congested or you have a nasal polyp or some deviated septum. But the really concerning action happens in the throat when the muscles in the airway relax during sleep, especially during deeper stages. Those tissues get floppy. The soft palate, the uvula, the base of the tongue, all of them can sag just enough to vibrate, and that vibration is sound. Snoring is the body's way of telling us, hey, this passage is a little bit narrow right now, and we're doing the best we can. Now, some folks simply are built to snore more than others, and that's not fair, because I'm one of those people, but it's true. Narrow airways, large tonsils, larger soft palates, and a tongue that sits a little too far back. All of these traits can increase the chance of snoring. You don't choose your airway, you inherited it. Just like your eye color or your Uncle Dave's taste in loud Hawaiian shirts. Then there's aging. As we get older, again, like some of us, muscle tone decreases everywhere. And believe you me, it does, including in the throat. Those muscles aren't as firm and springy as they once were, which means they collapse more easily at night. And yes, good old gravity plays a role. So sleeping on your back pulls the tongue and the soft tissue backwards, narrowing the airway even more. It's one of those times that gravity isn't doing us any favors. And if that's not enough, lifestyle can be a factor too. Snoring gets louder or more frequent when certain lifestyle factors join the party. Alcohol, a bedtime drink, relaxing that airway muscles even more, gives snoring a free upgrade from mild buzz to small engine starting. Nasal congestion, things like colds, allergies, sinus issues that force you to breathe through your mouth, that increases the turbulence in the throat. Weight gain and extra weight causes that extra tissue in the airway, especially in the neck and the jaw area, and that makes the airway smaller, more narrow. Your sleeping position can also affect things. Sleeping on your back, that's a classic snoring amplifier. This is why someone might only snore during allergy season, or after a couple of glasses of wine, or on nights when stress leads to poor sleep posture. Most snoring is harmless, fortunately. Annoying, yes, but harmless. But sometimes it points toward a sleep disorder called obstructive sleep apnea. That's a condition where the airway repeatedly collapses and it cuts off the airway, sometimes completely, sometimes partially. Snoring in sleep apnea is often loud, interrupted by pauses, followed by gasps or snorts or choking sounds, and paired with things like daytime sleepiness or morning headaches. If this is happening, it's worth getting checked. Sleep apnea is very treatable, but ignoring it can affect blood pressure, energy levels, mood, and your long-term health, including your cardiovascular health, your heart and your lungs. And here's the sneaky part. Snoring doesn't always wake the person doing it. but it can fragment their sleep in tiny ways they never notice. Micro awakenings, brief arousals, these little blips in the night. Your nervous system feels those blips, even if your conscious mind doesn't. Add stress, anxiety, or a racing mind into the mix, and suddenly you're dealing with a feedback loop. You finally get to sleep. Snoring disrupts your sleep. Poor sleep increases the stress, which leads to more fatigue, which then leads to worse snoring. It's all connected, and it's not in a doom and gloom way. It's just part of how being human works. Now, there are some things that we can do, some steps we can take to make a difference. Here's some simple, realistic ones that often reduce snoring without turning your bedtime into a construction project. Try changing positions first. Sleeping on your side instead of on your back. You can get a pillow that you can sort of tuck behind your back. One of the old methods that we used to use in sleep medicine was to sew a pocket in the back of a t-shirt and put a tennis ball in it so that when you laid over onto your back, it would poke you, wake you up, remind you to turn over to your side. Dial back drinking alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime. Now, sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you don't want to do that. But alcohol in your system can make those airway muscles more relaxed, and snoring would end up being worse as a result. Open up your nose. Nasal rinses, humidifiers, gentle nasal strips, things that can make you breathe a little bit easier when you're congested. You can even strengthen those airway muscles. There's a really interesting study from a while back that talks about playing the didgeridoo. And what that does, it actually works on the muscles of your tongue and soft palate like exercises. And it can help tone those tissues so that they don't relax as easily. Losing some weight can also help. If applicable, gradual weight loss around the neck area can reduce that airway narrowing. And finally, if the snoring is a little out of hand and you've tried things and you just can't deal with it anymore, check with a professional. If there are pauses and gasps and choking sounds and daytime sleepiness, it's really worth getting that checked out. You can touch base with your primary care doctor. They can refer you to a sleep center. Sometimes even the primary care doctor can order the sleep study itself. They can mail it to your home. You can try it there, mail it back. Easy peasy, get a diagnosis, get it treated, or find out that it's nothing, that it's not necessarily a sleep disorder, and that gives you another avenue of experimentation to look at. But remember, the point isn't perfection. It's experimentation. Try things, adjust, see what happens. Snoring isn't a character flaw like we used to always think. It's just the airway looking for a smoother path. In closing, snoring is one of those topics that feels very personal, but it's really just mechanical. Your airway is just doing the best it can do with the anatomy it's got. Understanding what's happening in there gives you power, not guilt. So take a breath, give yourself a break, and remember that most snoring issues improve with small, consistent adjustments. You're not broken, you're human. Sometimes we need to learn to work with our bodies, not against them. If you've enjoyed this little dive into those nighttime acoustics, check out some of the other Somnilopod episodes on sleep quality and stress and the beautifully complicated landscape of the human nervous system. And if you have any suggestions or if you want to reach out to me, you can touch base with me at jay@somnilopod.com or hit me up on one of the socials, Facebook or Instagram. And until we meet again, please remember, make sleep a priority. Thanks so much.